Okay, so we've talked about the first A in the 3 A's, and that's the acknowledge. Sure, we love to give all the information to show you how we can help you best. The second A is ask questions. Then you'll know the best way to answer the solution for them. Now, this is linking to the second and the third step of the 6 steps of the phone call. The first step, as we talked about, is the introduction. The second and third is building rapport, completely lowering that resistance levels and qualification, so it gives us permission to talk about the solution. Now, asking the question. If we want to build that rapport, one of the quickest ways to do that is an introduction. It is quite clear, the minute you exchange names, you do a good introduction with somebody, rapport is now taken to the next level. So your first ask I'm going to suggest is you do a quick name introduction. Now, I know you might be thinking you answer the phone with your name, but an introduction is when you give your name and get their name and then use their name. So it goes a little something like this. Sure, we'd love to give you all the information about how we can help you best. My name's Peter, who am I speaking to? Mary, hi Mary, how you going? Give your name and then you'll have permission to get their name. You've done your first 2 A's right now, and now you have permission to start asking some more emotional questions. I want to talk about the protocols that make it easy for people to make really good decisions. Your gut instinct would be to ask some certain qualifying questions. I'm going to ask you to hold back on that right now and tap into the emotional part. Let me share something quickly with you about the brain. You have your left hemisphere of the brain. We call that the logical cortex, your analytical part of the brain, the thinking brain, the what if brain. What if this happens? What if that happens? What about this? What about that? And you have your emotional hemisphere of your brain, your emotional cortex, the right hemisphere of your brain, your creative side, your feeling side. And that's really your decision-making side right now. See, people make decisions emotionally and they use logic to justify it. But we need to tap into that emotional side. I want you to think of it this way. Logic slows decision-making down. So we call that your red brain. What do you do at a red light? You stop. When you have logical conversation, logical dialogue, it whacks people straight into that left hemisphere, into that logical part of the brain, and it slows their decision-making down and makes them analyse. The minute you talk about things like technical information, when you talk about out-of-pocket expenses, sending a DVD, your BMI levels, the procedural information, the time frame it takes, when you talk about all those processes, that information, that conversation, that dialogue takes people straight into the red brain, the logical hemisphere. And I'm going to ask you right now, how much time do we spend talking about that technical information on a phone call? And most of the feedback I've received has been, that is the most part, that is the nuts and bolts of all the information that we give. Now, is it important? Yes, but again, it's the sequence and the timing of when we deliver it that is crucial. But if we look at the green brain, the emotional side, what do you do at a green light? You put the pedal to the metal and you floor it, you go. People make quick, fast decisions. They're excited about making decisions. They move forward when we put them in that right hemisphere of their brain, when we put them into green brain. We want to have green brain dialogue, green brain conversation early on, and then use logic to justify that green brain. When you've spoken to your doctor, or have you spoken to your GP, did they mention to you, did they talk to you about the ramifications of that? The diabetes, the obesity, the lifestyle changes, the personal stresses, the family stresses that you go through with all those. It's the outcomes of those. When we tap into that green brain, it makes it easy for them to want to say, let's meet up. I want to have a chat. I want to take this further. Its ability to get your customer, your patient, to want to make a decision rather than us have to push a decision onto them.